Did the Defence Department provide financial or legal assistance to former Special Forces Commander Heston Russell in his defamation case against the ABC recently?
I don't believe so.
Why not?
I mean, that was a private civil matter that he commenced, those defamation proceedings. And the way that we provide legal support to former ADF members would be through a what I describe as a lace payment made under the legal service directions, and that just doesn't allow for that sort of circumstance.
Wouldn't it have been best in the best interests of the Defence Department to ensure Mr Russell won his defamation case so he could clear his name and the reputation of the November platoon and the Australian Defence Force in general?
I'm not sure if that's a comment, Senator, or a question.
No, would it not be in the best interest? It's a question.
Look, I mean, that's a difficult...
Senator, if I could, it's in the best interest of the department for the law to be upheld.
And
there's been a legal process.
I see that, but
yeah.
He won.
No,
but that's not your judgment at the start. I get that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, to be seen to leave one of your senior people out in the cold doesn't augur well for people in the armed forces still. Mr Russell spent 16 years in the Australian Defence Force and led November platoon in Afghanistan. He was the subject of a vicious smear campaign by the ABC, who wrongly accused him of war crimes, and the judge was pretty scathing in his comments about the ABC. The federal court has now ordered the ABC to pay Mr Russell more than $400,000 plus costs. Why did a veteran have to fight this public battle alone at his own expense?
Senator, may I make a number of essentially procedural points? I think the first is that you are now inviting, well, three things actually. I think the officials have given you advice that they complied with the policy settings that are relevant for the legal assistance that may be provided to personnel. I think the second is that in asking them to make comment about the appropriateness of those steps, you're effectively asking them to offer an opinion about the current policy settings. And I think the third thing is that, as just to remind you that Defence was not a party to these proceedings, and it's not really appropriate to ask them, as I think you've done just now, to comment on a civil matter.
Okay, Minister, what do you say in response?
Well, I would...
Last question.
I'll put the question to you. I've just got one more after this. What's your opinion?
I think the officials have given you advice that they have sought to comply with the standard arrangements that are in place for providing legal support to personnel. I don't have any more to add in relation to that.
Okay. Has the Defence Department been in contact with Heston Russell during his 3-year ordeal? Did the Defence Department attend his trial in the federal court? And has Defence reached out to Mr Russell after his victory over the ABC?
Senator, Rear Admiral Brett Wolski, the head of the Afghanistan Inquiry Response Task Force. I'm not aware of any official contact with Mr Russell. Again, this was a civil defamation case brought about by a private person, and it's not appropriate to comment any further on it.
Thank you, Chair.